All right, good morning, boys and girls. We are back out here at the fence row. The 3,000 footer. We're back out here, and my goal today is to continue on down the hill, cleaning off what I can get off of these root balls. And I mean, the bottom is right there, so I'm literally just about there. I've got this tree to take out yet. There's a couple, well, half a dozen on further down here that I've got to take out yet. But I want to get some of this mess out of here and get everything going to a pile before I start putting down very many more. But then this fence row up here, there's 600 footer kind of by that power line that runs down through there. I've got to take out, and then back over where I first started, those persimmon trees have to come out. But again, I'm just going to work my way down, clean off as much dirt as I can, keep as much dirt here where the holes were at, and that'll save me on the cleanup as far as having to push a bunch of dirt up here for a big hole or having to push a bunch of dirt down here for a big hole to fill in. So there is some rocks and stuff through here, but initially I'm going to take the track loader. Once I get all the trees and stuff piled, I'm going to take the track loader and go through here and sift out roots and limbs and stuff and get them sifted out. And then I'll debate on whether I'm going to bring the D6 back or whether I'm going to bring the 850 back. I didn't tear up things near as much as I figured, so I'm not quite sure yet whether I'm going to bring the D6 back or whether I'm just going to bring the 850, because I do have a pad to the lime sand is already there. I just got a pad to kind of lay the lime sand out under, and that way they can get ready for silage once the corn's chopped. You know, it'll be several months yet, but that's what that lime sand is going to be under, is a clean pad so he can put his silage on top of it. But so I have to have the 850 for that, so I may in fact bring it out here. I don't know, I'll see yet. If everything will straighten up pretty good, I may not have to bring either one of them back. Maybe I'll do it with the loader, but I don't know yet. But right down here, kind of in that area right in there, there's a rock pile that I'm gonna have to bury. So I'm just gonna end up by digging a ditch or a hole somewheres in that area, if I can, as long as it's not too rocky, and try to bury it there. If not, I may have to go down the hill towards the bottom where the ground is less rocky and there's more topsoil and bury it there. I don't know yet. But that wasn't part of the bid job, so I want to get all the bid job done, and then the extra stuff, you know, I'll go back and it'll be by the hour, like that 600 foot fence row and those persimmon trees. You know, that'll be by the hour in addition to the bid job. So anyway, that is a synopsis of what we're going to do today. We did get 2 or 3 inches of rain. You can see the ground shining. Again, that's why I was so busy trying to get these holes filled in to keep them from holding water. But it doesn't look too bad. It's slimy on top. I'm hoping in the next day it's going to dry, and then Saturday, Sunday, we're talking more rain again, and maybe some next week. Why I'm thinking of it, and I made a post on the community tab that yesterday I hit my 3,000 subscriber, and I think I'm at 308 now, or 3,008 now. And man, as I said on that post, I appreciate you guys. It's amazing, you know, that I've piqued that much interest in my work. You know, to me, I'm no different than any other guy out here that does this. Nothing special at all. But again, as I've mentioned before, 3,000 is nothing in the YouTube world, but it's a pretty good accomplishment for me. Everything goes as planned, and we get rained out this weekend. I've talked about and mentioned before about getting a drone. I think it'll just show some, like, especially on like this job, I think it'll just show a different perspective and how long this tree row was and how much ground I covered in 7.5 hours. So not bragging on myself, I'm not all about that, but I'm just saying I really sickled right on through this. And anyway, that drone will, you know, it'll give a different perspective and kind of give a before and after, you know, when I fly over, and you know, stuff like that. So that if everything goes accordingly, that is something that I'm going to do. And I had mentioned previously about my new logo and hopes of getting some decals and maybe some shirts and stuff. Very early stages of that. I don't know. I don't even know. There may not be any interest in that. I don't know, but I thought I might try it and see. If not, I'll use them for myself. But anyway, let's get after this and try to get this going, and try to get some piles started today. I'm gonna grab the loader here in a little bit, go through here and start getting these piled, and it'll actually go pretty quick. The piles will form pretty quick. I don't think I'm going to take the excavator and bust all the limbs out. I'd really like to, you know, and I may change my mind here in a little bit once I start piling. I don't know, but it'll just take a little bit to pile with the excavator, and I've got the loader handy. Now if I had somebody else here with me helping, then most definitely I'd have them push the pile, push a tree to me, and I'd bust it up and stack it. We'd work our way down. But being the lone ranger, you know, I may just end up by piling them the same way I have for 15 years before I got the excavator. So anyway, all right guys, let's get after it. Not gonna be much excitement today, at least this morning. Done the same old thing we've just done, just raking these holes in. Oh, stump. They've done some walnut logging in here, so there's gonna be a few stumps I'll have to very similar, but the leaves will be a little bit different, and there's not many leaves out quite yet, so I just never took the time to learn much in the way of what the leaves are supposed to look like, because some of them you can't tell apart until you look at the leaves. So I don't know that I don't want to be any sort of biologist or anything like that on them. I mean, I can tell you what they are, or close to telling you what they are. Oak trees are a little bit easier because oak trees, the bark and stuff will normally be different. You know, and your white oaks and stuff, those are pretty easy to tell. Some of those are oak trees as well. And then walnut trees are easy to tell. That I was looking at had a quick coupler on it, and which would have been nice because I wanted to get a single tooth ripper, you know, for doing stumps and stuff like that. Something I could, you know, different attachments I could switch out on it. But it didn't work out that way. Like I said, the Komatsu had a lot of, which I'm very grateful for, had a lot of hydraulic issues that started rearing its ugly head. So when I was demoing that machine, and I'm so glad that it happened before I bought it, because I was literally at the end of the demo period. Actually, they'd extended it, the demo period, and I was at the end, and so anyway, and it started showing its rearing its head. I mean, I really like that machine, but the dealer still has it, and the boom is locked in the up position. They think that a spool come apart inside the valve body. So the last time I knew, it still was sitting at the dealer with the boom locked up. The boom's locked almost all the way up like this, and they can't get it down. So, and right now they're busy enough, they haven't messed with trying to work on it. And so this one's a newer machine. This one was more expensive, of course. This one weighs, even though they're the same class machine, this one weighs less. And you know, so far I've been really pleased with this machine. I think it was about pipeline company. I'm starting to see things, you know, finding papers and stuff inside. I think it was owned by a pipeline company, probably leased, if I was guessing. And so it's probably, I think mechanically it was well taken care of. Most of those have really good, and a lot of those maintenance programs are done by the dealer. So, I mean, the oil, when it's time to change oil, they call the dealer comes out and services them and stuff like that, but they're not taking care of it real well. And so that's, you know, I don't know what's going to rear its head down the road, but oil samples and everything came back good, real good, with the exception of the final drives, which final drives were dirty and they flushed them, and I need to pull samples and flush them again. But this machine has a warranty on it, a 2-year, 2,000-hour warranty. I called the dealer back out, you know, on this exhaust smell issue, which ironically I've not had the issue since I've been on this job. I don't know if because that other one was in such tight quarters, blocked by trees, that it didn't allow the fumes from the exhaust pipe to dissipate in the air, and they just kind of lingered around. I don't know. But I have not had the problem since. Even like right now, I don't have any smell in the cab at all. And so it may have just been a fluky thing. That's what I'm hoping anyway, because it was checked out by the dealer, and then I had a neighborhood heavy equipment mechanic come out and look at it, and looked at Pardon the language, but I'm about to really get pissed off at this. The damn things are leaking again, and I just tightened them, and it may be the freaking O-ring leaking inside that again. There's an O-ring inside this here, and it almost looks like that one's leaking, and I just replaced the O-ring. I'm gonna have to, I bet I'm gonna have to end up by doing something different, or Teflon taping. I forgot my damn Teflon tape again. So anyway, I'm gonna run up and grab the truck, bring the wrenches down here and tighten it up, and then I'm gonna have to, I may have to end up by running down the road and getting some Teflon tape. This is just ridiculous. All right, guys, we have made our way down here to the bottom. As you can see, we're down here in the bottom. I got all of that cleared. Going through there, started to pile down there by where those trees are still standing. And then all of this that I have will end up down there as well. Right now, big elm tree here, and I'm just trying to pick it apart, get the majority of the limbs off. While it's still standing, helps put the leverage that way, and I'm not scooting around the tree while I'm trying to bust limbs off and stuff. So this is a big old girl. Big old girl. So this one will be fun to try to get out probably. Some of this stuff, but for the sake of time, I'm not trying to break it all up really tiny. I'm just trying to get it, you know, where it won't quite take as much space up in the fields, because they're going to be a crap ton of piles. And it'll make them a little easier to burn next year, or maybe this fall. Depends on how things dry. But that was a fail. But yeah, again, just kind of save them a little bit of room in their field, and not string it all out. Burn up a little better, a little easier for them. Probably still a 40-50-year-old tree, I imagine. Let's see what we got. problem you run into down here in these bottoms, man. These trees, the soil. I mean, look at that beautiful soil. And these trees will just root and root. Make them extremely difficult to get out. But I bet we'll get her. I bet we get her. I may dig a swimming pool here or a basement, but I bet we get her. Too bad of a hold. Wasn't too bad. I decided to keep them wrenches in here instead of having to freaking chase them down all the time, so I might hear a little ding or clinking in here. I hate to mess up this swell, but I don't have a choice. Fine roots, man, that they just send out everywhere. So that's what makes it so tough to get these trees out, especially in the bottoms. Yeah, I mean, that dirt is just as black as can be. Oh my gosh. Well, that hole's probably ever been a 3 foot deep. Right here looks like a good start. Good starting place right here. It does. Remember, we want to keep the trees or the brush piles away from the fence. So we don't have the fence getting hot, burning all the galvanized off the wire. So I'd say that's far enough. I'm not going to worry so much about cleaning up right now. I'm just trying to get the brush pile started. There'll be some cleaning up bucket that can be a pain to try to get off. Alrighty guys, end of today. Gonna get ready to go home. I don't know if you can see very well or not, but got this section piled, and I got this last pile right there, from about there to the road, is cleaned up and final graded. So I'm going to be working my way back tomorrow, and this should go relatively quick. There's not as much roots and crap in here. It's actually cleaning up pretty good with the loader, so I may not have to bring the little dozer out. I don't know. But in the morning, I think what I'm going to end up by doing in the morning is going and I'm going to go ahead and get these piled. So I'm probably going to start piling all of those and go ahead and pile all the way down. And then when I'm down there, I'll start cleaning on my way back. There's going to be several areas down there that's not going to need hardly any cleaning at all. So those should go really quick, and it's pretty clean. This up here had a lot of hedge trees in it and a lot of crap. Those were just mainly big trees down there, and I got a lot of the holes filled in pretty decent, so it should go a little quicker, maybe not quite as much cleanup down there, but anyway. And then I'll start on, after I get all that done, you know, all the piling and all the cleanup all through here, then I'll start on taking this fence row out here, and we're gonna go, well, you can see down here where these trees are at, that's a cross fence. So we're gonna go to right down there. So just be on that pole, that power line pole there. I think he said it was about 600 feet. So anyway, we're gonna lay all them down, and that way he can get a cross fence put in down there, and then be able to tie into there. So I guess he can do probably some rotation, cattle rotation or something. So anyway, that's the plan. And also in the morning, I'm going to bring another O-ring out and some Teflon tape to fix that freaking leak on that hydraulic hoses and stuff on the excavator. Oops, I did it again. Look here. Yep, you see that right. I was shoving a stump up into the brush pile, and before I could even react, the thing flipped. I kind of watched it, and it flipped, and it rolled out of the brush pile and rolled down and smacked the front of the loader before I could even react. So it's not as bad as it was last time. So hopefully it'll come out a little bit easier. I may not even it's not back in there very far at all. I may not mess with it right now, but I think what I'm gonna end up by doing is, once I get that straightened back out, I think I'm gonna lay some 3/4 inch steel on end, and I think I'm gonna lay them across that to give that some rigidity, and hopefully that'll help that. Hopefully. But hopefully that damn thing ain't leaking there. Looks like it's seeping a little bit. Jeez. So anyway, that is that's where we're at. So I'm gonna go ahead and fuel everything up, and then head to the house, and I'll be back in the morning to finish getting the rest of that the other side piled there. So anyway, as far as this video goes, we're done, but don't forget to like and subscribe, and pass a good word, and we'll see you in the morning.